Police in New York have arrested a person of interest in connection to the shooting death of an imam and his friend.
He was there just prior to that. We have him on video about 8 minutes prior to the homicide, and then he takes off directly after. We'll put those facts together and go forward in exploring his life to see what's going on, that it's possible that it's either hate crime or some other motive.
The person of interest is being charged with an unrelated hit-and-run traffic accident and assaulting police officers, which allegedly happened while he was being arrested. The imam and the second victim were shot and killed at close range on Saturday as they left a prayer service. Today, about 1,000 people attended a funeral service for the two victims. Zainab Chaudhry is a spokesperson for the Council on American-Islamic Relations. She joins us now from Washington. Zainab, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What do you make of this incident? There is a lot of anger out there.
There's a lot of anger, a lot of fear. Right now, our hearts go out to the families of the victims and the community that's been so devastated and rocked by this horrific tragedy. Right now, we're demanding justice for the families and the community, and we're making sure that we do whatever we can to provide support to that community while we're calling on law enforcement to do their due diligence to make sure that the perpetrators who are behind this horrific shooting is brought to justice.
You mentioned that due diligence. Today, police, as you heard, revealing that they have a person of interest. What do you make of that development?
We welcome that there is a suspect in custody. At the same time, we want to make sure that the law enforcement is exploring every avenue, every lead possible to make sure that the person who is behind this is brought to justice. Right now, we know that hate crime charges are not off of the table. This is still being conducted as a possible hate crime investigation. And that's something that I think even as Muslims across the nation are reeling at the news of this horrific attack, in light of the recent political climate with the amplified anti-Muslim rhetoric and the Islamophobia that we've been seeing in really all parts of society, it's even more imperative that we explore that avenue and just make sure that there wasn't a religious or a biased motive that contributed to this attack.
Are people in the Islamic community really talking about that overall political environment?
In this particular election season, that's something that's paramount in many Muslims' minds. I think it goes beyond just the Muslim community. There are many diverse faith communities and ethnic communities who will be directly impacted by specific problematic policies that have been proposed by specifically Donald Trump that could potentially undermine the constitutional rights of many of these communities. So we know that with the Bridge Initiative at Georgetown University published a report in 2015, there have been up to nearly 180 anti-Muslim incidents that were recorded in 2015 alone. So we know that there has been a spike in anti-Muslim hate crimes, bias attacks, incidents of faith-based bullying, discrimination, profiling of Muslims or people who appear to be Muslims. So there is a very real sense of feeling victimized or feeling targeted amongst Muslims across the nation. And when attacks like these happen, they just compound those fears and that anxiety. So we want to make sure that law enforcement is doing everything that they can to bring this perpetrator to justice and make sure that that community has the resources that it needs to cope with this tragedy.
From the Council on American-Islamic Relations, Zainab Chaudhry. Zainab, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.